style, which is from 1928. Notice how the building's verticality is stressed. It's not so interested in holding firm to the ground, but the verticality, all the exterior vertical elements go up uninterrupted. The horizontal elements are suppressed, and the windows are longer than they are wide. Everything is causing your eye to go up. And what ornamentation is on the building, and there is ornamentation on the building, is abstracted, and it's dug into the building rather than at the base. The house to check. So I could actually put a little replica of the bridge house at the base, halfway up, and at the top of the building. So they are making sure that they fit in with the environment around them. They're being very contextual. Now look ahead past that at the white building, tall white building with that triangular, that's called a pediment at the very top of the building. That's 77 West Wacker by Ricardo Bofill and James DiStefano. Ricardo Bofill is a Catalonian architect, postmodern, anti-modern. He said, buildings should have the presence of the event. It's all about what? It's all about the next building, which is an earlier Co-Pedersen Fox building, which is the ultimate in contextuality. It's this emerald gem on the river that turns where the river turns, and that is from the early 2000s. It's 191 North Wacker Drive. You'll notice here they don't have anything at the base because they now have soundproof glass in the 2000s, so they don't need to worry about protecting people from the noise. And then they have, of course, this wonderful lantern on top. So now, glass lantern, lighted lantern. Now we're going to turn to the north branch of the river. The north branch of the river used to be the working branch. This is where all the warehouses and the railroads and everything was to supply the downtown area in most of Chicago. In the 1960s, people started to move out of area with the buses on it. That on the Chicago map is called William B. Ogden Island. William B. Ogden was the first mayor of Chicago, and he had a brick-making plant. And you notice she's sitting on a roof that goes in, like steps in. That's called a ziggurat. That actually kind of came from Egypt. We started looking at the pyramids, and they discovered Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922. It became a very popular object. And also, what is it doing? It's drawing your eye up. And it was stinky, and it was dirty, and it was ugly. And in 1980, we had what was called the Deep Tunnel Project, which was a big sewer and kept the water from. And the journalists in Washington and New York said, watch out for those Windy City windbags, because we were such braggarts, and I am probably a direct descendant of those Windy City windbags. And I want to tell you, in 2000, the American Institute of Architects declared Chicago the most important architectural city in the United States, for very good reason as far as I'm concerned. It has the most I'll be talking about that development on the way back. We're going down the south branch of the river. We're going to go straight. We're on the north branch. Now we're going to the south branch, which was our original central business district. So we talked about the blue building with the lighted lantern at the top. Thank you very much. You see all the musical instruments that are on the building. This blank wall is a wall of the Opera House. If you go to the theater, you get really mad if you're sitting behind a column. So a big change in architecture with a change in the cleanliness of the river. And you'll notice that the windows kind of bow out and the building goes in, so you get this wonderful reflections again as you go past it. So now, if anybody is very interested in building a McMansion, a huge McMansion, 2.5 million square feet of space to go through, which is called Congress Parkway. What I find very interesting is the plan was the assembly line in 1909, which meant that Daniel Burnham was already thinking about the impact of automobiles before. It was like saying, what's the impact of the second natural surroundings? And so he used organic forms, he used reinforced concrete rather than steel and glass. And the other thing he said is people should stop moving out of the city. It's ridiculous. We can give them a city within a city. So here you have a marina that is open 365 days a year. You can have your boat here 365 days a year. The water is constantly churning, so it never freezes. Within the building, you have a mini house with the balconies. Now we're going to get under the bridge, and just to the right of you, you will see a structure that looks like a boat. That's actually a giant ice box. That is ice bucket. That is Thermal Chicago. It is from the 1990s by Ekanoff and Saunders. What happens is water goes in during the day, it's frozen at night, and sent back out as cold water cooling to all the buildings that don't have central air conditioning. It's Freon free, it's very good for the environment, and they could have made the building look like anything. But being postmodern, they made it look like a boat sitting on the river. So they did a very nice job of fitting in and being contextual. Now, if you look again at Willis Sears Tower, at the left side of the tower, almost at the very, very top, you see those balconies that are sticking out? Those are called the ledges. Those are lucite balconies. There is nothing. Now, who's been on those? Okay, good for you. Good for you, not me. But I understand it's really, really wonderful to go up there and see. We now have a competitor to that. That's at the John Hancock building on Michigan Avenue, North Michigan Avenue, where not only does Tex, and they're kind of in a little trouble because River Bend, which you saw, is worried about their views coming up. So as we make the turn, to your left is this other huge building, the Grand Dame of the River, the Merchandise Mart of Chicago. It is another...
So not only did he hide the garages, but he gave the developer something very special to add money, and people love it. That up to the garages. Now, on the left is a curvilinear glass, actually a moving structure. That is Lake Point Tower. That is from 1960. Used by Shipwright Primary. They were students in Sandaroo. They also kind of left the record for a very good reason. They knew that they were going to build east of Lakeshore Drive. They only built east of Lakeshore Drive. They knew the wind would be coming from the west, and the wind would be coming off the lake from the east. So if they built a rectangular building, it was just going to have wind windows all the time. So then they made this curvilinear Chicago structure. But as you come out on the side, you can move to the left, you can see the building is lifted up on the street from the building. And then you can see the actual structure behind the windows. So this was good for wind, it was also good for views. They created...
If I ever get back from this roof for the banking, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out.